Good afternoon and welcome to Brewing. I'm your host. My name is Scott Leffler, and it is Friday, October 19th, 2012, in the year of our Lord. Short show today, and it is not live, it is Memorex. I'm recording because I am on my way out the door in just a few minutes to head to Rochester, New York to see former President Bill Clinton along with Congresswoman Kathy Hochul and Congresswoman Louise Slaughter. It's a fundraiser. I don't think it's actually a fundraiser. It's a rally, but I'm sure they're going to use it to try and make money because that's what politicians do, right? So, yeah, I've seen Bill Clinton a number of times. I mentioned this yesterday. Always a pleasure. The thing's open to the public, so there's going to be 8 billion people because everybody loves Bill Clinton. Even people that hate Bill Clinton love Bill Clinton. So everybody's going to be there. I will be there as a member of the press, as will my girlfriend, actually, who is a photographer for the same paper where I work at. So we're headed out to go see Bill Clinton. I've seen Clinton a number of times. To my knowledge, I don't think she has yet. So I think she's probably even more excited about this than I am. And I am like a kid in a candy store the day before Halloween or something like that. Found out about this on Monday or Tuesday, I don't recall which, but looked into it and been trying to secure press credentials throughout the duration of that time. And it's been a bit of a, I don't want to call it a nightmare, but it's been a bit of a mess. The communication has been lacking, to say the least. First was dealing with one congressional office, then another congressional office, then I called somebody, and then I got routed through the chairman of the Democratic Party of like one of the locality. The whole thing's been kind of cuckoo. But it's all good now because we're on our way in just a little bit. So we have our press credentials. However, there's also tickets. If you want to go, Google it online. Google Bill Clinton Rochester, then today's date. I don't know that there are still tickets available, but if there are, head on out because it's a lot of fun. It is a Democratic rally. If you hate Democrats, you might not have fun. But if you don't hate Democrats, you might have fun. And again, it's Bill Clinton. My coffee's over there. Sorry. I'm back now. So just a couple things I want to talk about today. And then we'll both go on our merry ways. I'll go to Rochester and you do whatever it is you do. Spoon. Last night was the Al Smith dinner. You probably saw something about this on the news or read about it in today's paper. The Al Smith dinner is an event every 4 years put on by the Catholic Diocese of New York City or something along those lines. It's put on by the Catholic Church. It's in New York City. And every 4 years, among other things, the presidential candidates have to come and, be funny. And they typically come and roast themselves or each other. Now, last night, Obama, if you missed this, it's on YouTube. I'll put links to the YouTube videos in the show notes later, but I'm not going to get to show notes until I get back from Rochester, so you're thinking, we're looking at this evening at the earliest. But I'll put links to the YouTube videos, or you can just Google them. Al Smith dinner Romney, Al Smith dinner Obama, you'll find them. That's how I found them. So the candidates have to go up there and be funny. Politicians are not, by their nature, funny. So it's kind of interesting. President Obama, pretty much picked on himself. His best line, from what I thought at least, watch it for yourself and let me know what you think. His best line was, quote, "I did so well in the second debate because I was very well rested from the nap I took during the first debate." I like people who can pick on themselves. Romney, on the other hand, mostly picked on Obama. Now, he did pick on himself, too, and I'm not saying that he did anything wrong. Both candidates had their own styles. Both candidates were funnier than I would have imagined. Romney was actually a lot funnier than I would have imagined because I just don't get funny from Mitt Romney. But I was impressed with both. Romney mostly picked on Obama, and his line of the night, and I'm paraphrasing here, but his line of the night is, "Tonight is sponsored by the letter O and the number 16 trillion, which I thought was kind of funny. So he mostly picked on the president mostly picked on himself, and everybody kind of had a lot of fun. If you're sick of politics as usual, find those videos on YouTube and watch them because it is politics unusual. So, polls. I want to talk about polls. And this is actually the last thing I want to discuss in today's show. I told you to be shorter. I've been averaging about half an hour lately, which it's not a bad place to average. It's probably a little longer than I mean to average, to be honest with you. But I'm a windbag, so what are you going to do? Polls. There is a new Gallup poll that shows Mitt Romney leading President Obama by 6 points. Now, Nate Silver's my poll guy, right? I've been talking about Nate Silver for years. I've been following his blog for years. He now writes for the New York Times, but before he wrote for the New York Times, he was just some dude writing a blog about like presidential polls and like gathering the statistics and like relating them to baseball, and like he is the king of the nerds, all right? And I love him. He's awesome. So I've been using Nate Silver as a source for the better part of a decade. By the way, this is Brewing. My name's Scott Leffler. You can tweet me during the show. Or actually, this show's, not live, but you can still tweet me at Scott Leffler. Let me know what you think. So, Gallup has this poll that has Romney up by 6 points. Nate Silver goes, probably not. None of the other polls look like that. Most of the polls show that there's a dead heat. And Silver says that when Gallup is... It's funny. Basically, Silver says that Gallup is shit. Because he says when Gallup polls are different from all the other polls, Gallup is usually wrong. Well, maybe he's not saying Gallup is shit. Maybe he's saying that if there's an anomaly, the anomaly is most likely incorrect. Because I guess if any poll was different than all the other polls, that poll is probably wrong because you got to go with the averages, which is one of the things that Nate Silver does. He takes the polls and he averages them out and he figures out things, and he figures out who was asked what question on what day and where the moon was and how the Yankees did that day. The Yankees lost! I love that, by the way. I realize I probably just lost some viewers. I don't care. You are Yankee fans, and I don't like you. I don't dislike you, but I don't like your team. They're the evil empire of baseball. That's all there is to it. But at least there is a baseball. There's still no hockey, and everybody's pissed off about that, and I don't blame them. Hockey, what are you doing to me? Anyway, so Gallup has the poll, says Romney's up by 6. Nate Silver goes, probably not. For the most part, the polls show that there's a statistical dead heat, and 18 days out from the election, we still got no idea. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So that'll be fun to watch. I'm really, oh dear God, I have to work election night, right? I'm going to be at work for forever election night. Do you, I'm sure you do, in the year 2000, when we had the election between George W. Bush and Al Gore, I was awake for like 5 days because I could not go to bed until we had a president. And then we didn't have a president for like a month and a half. And it was, or maybe I'm exaggerating. No, I don't think I am exaggerating that much. Anyway, when did we get somebody tweet me the answer to this, or I'll look it up later. When did we get a president in that election? When did Al Gore finally reconcede? Because that was interesting. I fear at this point that we might have something similar. Now, according to Real Clear Politics, which is a political website, they've crunched their own numbers, and if you take out toss-ups, states that are within the statistical margin of error are typically referred to as toss-ups, or even a few points more than that. But if you just say, the vote is today, this is the poll, this is who wins this state, if you do that, according to Real Clear Politics, Obama wins 281 electoral votes to 257 for Mitt Romney. However, that's just a hypothetical, and there are toss-up states. There's as many as 10 toss-up states, depending upon who you ask. So, I mean, really, it isn't that close at all. I mean, it could be. Here's the thing. With just over 2 weeks to go before the election, it could be incredibly close. We could be up for days again. Or it could be a blowout. And it could be a blowout either way. Politics in America is so interesting. It's one of the reasons that's what I went to school for. And it's one of the reasons I love it so much. You know another thing I love so much? I love doing this show. And I love coffee. I know it's Friday, I should be drinking beer, right? But I thought it would be best to not get drunk and then go see the president. Although, if there were a president I would want to drink beer with, it would be Bill Clinton. I'm pretty sure that man could probably throw him down, and we'd have lots of fun. We'd probably pick up some hookers or something. I don't know, it'd be a good time. However, the current president, President Obama, he made like his own like White House beer, White House brew. You can get the recipe online. Maybe we'll discuss that next week. Maybe we'll make beer. I don't know. I've never made beer. I have friends that have made beer, and I envy them. My roommate, when I left college, I lived in a house, well, an apartment really, with my girlfriend at the time, who became my wife, who became my ex-wife, and my friend Jason and his girlfriend at the time, who became not his wife. And he had one of those Mr. Beer or Beermeister things. It was like on top of the fridge, you know what I mean? It's like a thing like this, and like you put the stuff in. And I remember him making it. I don't remember ever drinking it. I don't know. Do you homebrew beer? If you do, send some to me, Scott Leffler. No, don't do that. But if you run into me on the street, just be like, here, dude, beer. I'll take it. It's all good. Anyway, that's it for me for today. I appreciate those of you who tuned in and watched, even though I didn't really say much. I will be back on Monday, where hopefully I will say more, and I will say things that are important, like gobbledygook and snuffleupagus. Today's show has been brought to you by the letter O and the number 16 trillion. I'm out, going to the Flower City, Rochester, New York, where if I'm really, really, really lucky, I'll be able to take my girlfriend out to dinner as well. So, have a great day. I'll see you later. Love you.